Joel, how does it feel to be in the playoffs?
It's special. I try and tell the young guys, like, you can't take this for granted. Like, you never know when it's going to come back. You think you have a great team. You think you're building a great culture, but you really never know.
You've been a part of this organization for a long time, and there was a lot of years in that there wasn't success.
Some of the guys have actually asked, when they come on the team, like, oh, how was those years? And I was like, it was miserable. Like, I got so numb to losing, I didn't realize how much fun winning was till we started winning again. And I was like, man, this is great. Like, how did I do it for those years? So even me, I kind of like put it in the back corner. It was dark football days for sure. You know, there was a stretch there, 3 years of like me not experiencing an actual on-field win. When you're just fighting for a win, it's hard to be like, yeah, next year we'll make the playoffs, or, you know, we're gonna make a run at this thing.
2020, you guys make the playoffs for the first time in your career. What did that feel like?
It was emotional. It almost didn't feel real because I had experienced so many losing seasons, and I was like, man, this is what it feels like. And it was, I just kind of sat there for a moment and was like, all right, like, I'm not taking this for granted. Like, we have a chance, and it was very cool moment.
Here you are, 3 years later, back in the playoffs. The moment that you clinched, felt like that was a really special one, right? Thursday night football at home in front of the fans.
You felt their energy all year. I think, you know, the Cleveland Browns Stadium is one of the tougher places to play now. I think if you look at our record and just the way the season went, to clinch in front of the home fans, just feel their energy and their celebration on a Thursday night in front of a national audience, it was very special.
This year didn't maybe feel at the start like this was going to be the outcome. You lose Nick Chubb in week 2, all of the other injuries and adversity throughout the season. How do you feel now, looking back at all you guys have overcome to get to this point?
Nick Chubb is such a special person and player, and Deshaun, you know, we felt like was coming into his own, and our tackles, and I mean, there's so many guys that we've lost this year that we wish could be here with us. But coaches stressed all year, you know, being a resilient team, going 1-0 every week. And when you really truly have that mindset as a team, it's hard to think too much into it. So you lose a guy like Nick Chubb, and you go into the next week and you're like, all right, how do we win this game? And you find a way to win it, you know, and then you move on to the next week. And there was definitely times where we're like, are we going to be able to overcome this as a team? And we went to practice, we worked, and we found a way to get another win. So the way it's been built up this year, I think, is just a true testament to the culture of the team and what Coach Stefanski and Andrew Berry have built.
What is something you learned in 2020 that you can impart on some of the guys who weren't on this team then?
And once you get out there, once, you know, pre-game's up and maybe the first drive's over for each side, it's like, all right, we're just playing football again. It's 11 on 11. Who's going to be more fundamentally sound? Who's going to make the plays when it matters? And it's truly all your focus is on going 1-0 because nothing else is promised. So we got 1 week. We can put everything we have into playing against the Houston Texans and trying to find a way to win, because we don't know what's going to happen after this anyway. So that's all we got right now, and I think the guys are focused on that, and it's truly something that just, hey, we'll take it one play at a time and see what happens after 60 minutes.
Why do you think you guys might have some more success now that you've been through it in the playoffs, knowing that you're out there?
It's always a challenge to go on the road. We know Houston's going to be a loud atmosphere. You know, we played there earlier this year. But I think the guys are focused and resilient, and as a team, we got to be road warriors. We're going to have to be road warriors at some point this year. And, you know, no better time than now. We got to make a run in the playoffs, most likely on the road, and it's something we look forward to.
The dog pound travels.
The dog pound does travel. I've always been impressed. Every time we travel, there's always a good amount, and if we ever win the game on the road, you notice it because they all move to the lower bowl at the end of the game, and you're running out of the tunnel. It's like, oh, it feels like a home game here. But I do think we're going to travel. You know, it's going to be a fun atmosphere. We know they're a talented team, and they're exciting as well. So I think it's a great start to the playoffs, but we'll be ready to play. It's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be fun. Thanks so much, Joel, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thanks for having me.